Sean was dating Janae for about 10 and some change years, 10 plus years. Allegedly, Janae was in a relationship and cheated with this guy named Big Sean.
Stop it. Get some help.
10 years is going to fly by and there's no ring on the finger. And sometimes us men, we would entertain the nonsense. We would entertain the flesh, but deep down in our soul, we know that it's cap. We gotta stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
10 plus years. Now, at the end of the day, Big Sean has bread, Janae has bread, and they reproduce the kid. So the kid is going to be taken care of financially. But 10 plus years cannot get recuperated. It cannot be returned. That's 10 years gone. 10 years of soul ties down the drain. Now, at the end of the day, there are relationships where you don't have to get married. Now, married is the American way of unionship. You can have a bond without technically getting married. They can have a great relationship and raise their child. That, unfortunately, this is where the problem comes. It's going to be in a broken home, and that's the cap. How many kids are raised in a broken home? Our parents, we was raised in a household with our parents in broken homes, and now we're making our kids go in broken homes. All because of lust. So it's not because of lust, it's because of lust. And I was a huge Big Sean fan. Shout out to Big Sean. I went to his concert actually in Houston. That's one of the few concerts that I went to. So I'm a huge fan. Shout out to 888, 2288. Shout out to Dark Twisted Fantasy. Shout out to Finally Famous 1, 2, and 3. Shout out to Big Sean. But at the end of the day, she was a thotty body. She was a 3 or 4 because the foundation of the relationship was based off lust, was based off cheating. So how is that going to be sustainable? How are you supposed to build a foundation off of lust? Eventually, that is going to crumble. And deep down in Big Sean's soul, just my humble opinion, because this is all alleged, he knew he couldn't make a wife out of that. Now, making a wife in America is paperwork, and when shit hits the fan, it has to go 50-50, and 1 out of 3, the divorce rate in America is extremely high. So Big Sean saw long term, he saw what the future could eventually portray, and he's like, I'm not gonna do all that because I cannot submit to marriage if I know that you have a history of cheating. And fellas and women, take heed of this. It can be fun in the meantime, but in the long term, how are you going to take a relationship serious when the foundation was built off of lust? Big Sean was just playing around. I mean, 10 plus years, he was like, it is what it is because it's Janae. You can't get those 10 years back, but to put a ring on that finger, to go before the Most High, bringing your friends and family in the church of God, making vows for better or for worse. People really go in church talking about for better or for worse, and they don't even fulfill those vows. So I give salute to Big Sean because Big Sean, yeah, he was playing around. Yeah, he reproduced, but deep down in his soul, he didn't want to lie in front of God. He didn't want to lie in front of his friends. He didn't want to lie in front of his family. He didn't want to say, I do. And then 2, 3, 4 years later, as we know it, ladies and gentlemen, these celebrities, not just celebrities, just people in general, is high today, by tomorrow. Expelling all these secrets to somebody that you never knew. Now they know all your business. They know all your insecurities. They know you in and out. They know you probably more than you know yourself. And now y'all not even texting each other. Y'all not even communicating. But yet you just said, I do. You just said, I love you. You just said before the Most High for better or for worse. And you broke those vows? So I believe, ladies and gentlemen, allegedly, Big Sean saw from the long shot. He said, I'm not about to cap. I'm not about to come through. Yo, shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm not about to come through and lie before the Most High. We got to stop the cap. How are we going to be lying before God? Now, to have a kid out of wedlock, it is what it is. At the end of the day, a man's going to have to step up and take care of that kid. When that kid grows up, he's going to have to explain to that kid, yo, mommy and daddy, we had our separate issues, but we still took care of you. But to come in front of the Lord, to come in front of the Most High, making a vow, talking about for better or for worse. How are you going to say these promises in front of, there's multiple witnesses? Should there be a charge? How are you going to be making promises for better or for worse and then end up in a, no, you promised. Just like when I sign a lease agreement to where I reside at, I can't say, yo, I'm sick or I got laid off or I don't feel like working. They don't care about none of that. At the end of the day, rent is due in the next 14, 15 days. No so dominicano, pero ya tu sabe. They want their bread on the first, if not the second, if not the third, and the third is pushing it. And you better pay it before the weekend because the late fees will accumulate. So when I sign a lease agreement, they want their bread. But when I say I do, for better for worse, that's okay for me just to say F it because there's certain promises hits the fan. No, how, yo, it's crazy work how people in America, because it's not like that in these foreign lands. These foreign people, they got it for the most part. I mean, cheating be happening worldwide, don't get it twisted. But these third world countries, they really be holding it down. But in America, a little bit of turbulence, a little bit of resistance causes divorce. And I understand sometimes it's out of your control. People don't even know who they're dating. They don't even know who they're married because what it is that people they portray an image and then they really show their ass once they get comfortable after 2, 4, 10 years. Then they become strangers in the household. They're not even lovers. They become roommates. You have YouTube content creators, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to call this content creator out, but you have content creators coming on camera, pressing the record button, talking about, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. Because the house is cold. They don't even recognize who they're married to. We got to stop the cap. So back to Big Sean. Big Sean, he knew the foundation was lust. Once again, they was dating for 10 years, made a whole kid. What is the reason? It's not financial. He has the bread to pay for the wedding. He has the bread to retire. I mean, I don't know the man's business. This is all alleged. This is all for entertainment purposes only. Do not sue me, Big Sean. Do not sue me, Janae. But to go back door and marry a 304 when the foundation is lust is some crazy work. So it's better to call it off now than to cause a divorce, splitting your financial 50-50, letting the kid go through that turbulence. Because what about the kid? The kid sees mommy and daddy going through a divorce. That is extremely traumatizing. See, these adults, they act on emotion, what feels best for them, but the kid also is suffering in the sideline because mommy and daddy is divorced. Now the kid can see mommy and daddy never went through divorce. Technically, they never went through divorce. Big Sean saved the kid innocence. We have to stop the cap, ladies and gentlemen. We're making these generational curses, going before the Most High, talking about I do. I do? Stop the cap, bruh. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to show some screenshots here. Now, this is all allegedly. All allegedly. Big Sean and Janae have broken up after 10 years. Hold on, there's a smudge on the computer. We gotta get this shit out. Hold on. And the women have been angry at Sean for wasting Janae's time without marrying. But here's what those same women are ignoring. Janae was once married to once music producer Genius. Genius, whoever the hell that is. This is Janae's ex before Big Sean. Here's where it gets interesting. She cheated on her husband with Big Sean. So that is the foundation of the relationship, ladies and gentlemen, of its lust. Pure lust. And Big Sean's supposed to put a ring on the foundation of lust? He knew deep down in his soul he can't take that serious. She even got a tattoo of Big Sean while still married. What? So as a individual that's partaking in a 304, what we have to understand, hold on, let's switch this, hold on. What we have to understand is that a man can act on lust, but to take it serious is some crazy work. And, he probably been one to call it off. Man, they hop on, go to the next one, train one coming, miss one, 3-1 coming, whatever Gucci Man said. Y'all let me know in the comments what Gucci Man said in that song. Miss one, next 3, something coming. But Janae, he was probably pussy whipped. Look at Janae. He probably was pussy whipped, ladies and gentlemen. He probably was pussy whipped. 10 years of lust. But the whole time he knew he couldn't take that serious. How? Stop the cap. You married, so in Big Sean's conscience, she was married to this guy named Genius. While she was married, she got a tattoo of Big Sean on her body. So if she can do that to her ex, she can do it to Big Sean. So ladies and gentlemen, what I take from this message is if I find somebody and she goes around cheating when she has a little situation. Now, nothing is official until you have a ring on your finger, but what we have to understand is that Janae did have a ring on her finger. She was married to this dude named Dot Dot Genius. Whoa! Let it breathe. Let it breathe, bruh. She was married to this dude named Dot Dot Genius, had a ring, and she got a whole nother man tatted on her body? Tatted up! Tatted up, blah, 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 blah. She got a whole man tatted on her body while she was married. Big Sean saw that. You think Big Sean is ignorant to that? He was fooling around with Janae. Meanwhile, she was married to this dude named Dot Dot Genius. So if the foundation is lust, how is he gonna put a ring on that? I mean, we can act on lust, but to be committed to lust is some crazy work because we can make mistakes. Does that mean that we have to fall victim to that mistake? See, a mistake does not define who you are. You can entertain a mistake, you can act lustful, you can partake in sin, but to fully commit as if that is your identity is some crazy work. And Big Sean, true conscience, he knew he couldn't take that serious. She was married to this dude named Dot Dot Genius. Dot Dot Genius? Dot Dot, whatever the hell this man name. Dot Dot Genius? Whole marriage. Now, if she was dating, then it's free game because there's no ring on her finger. She's a free woman. She's open for the market. Of course, she could do what she wants to do. But she was committed to a whole man before Big Sean. Dot Dot Genius. That's some crazy word. So Big Sean's supposed to put a ring on that. Stop the cap. Let's go back down to the documentation, ladies and gentlemen. I'm about to spaz out. I'm about to black out. Let it breathe. No so dominicano, ya. Tu sabe. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're in the building, do me a favor and double tap the screen to like the live. How you like the live is by double tapping the screen. Let's go to the documentation. She cheated on her husband with Big Sean. That's crazy. She even got a tattoo of Big Sean while still married. Dan went on to publicly kiss him on stage. All this while still married. What? The poor guy eventually decided to call it quits. It's embarrassing. Was too much, and Janae is now free to date her handsome rap star boyfriend, Big Sean. But Big Sean never popped the question because he understands the game. Big Sean never popped the question because he understands the game. Come on now, the guy's from Detroit. Detroit, Michigan, the home of the pimps and players. Now, modern day Detroit, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Detroit's kind of, I mean, isn't Dontay London from Detroit? I mean, hold on, y'all got to hold that man accountable. He out here begging. He's going back to begging content. He was trying to talk about I changed. I got 3 jobs. I got 4 jobs. Matter of fact, I got 5 jobs. Now he's going back to struggle content. So the new generation of Detroit ninjas is not the same. Detroit of the home and players, the dirty, dirty Flint, Michigan. That water's so dirty it's coming brown out the faucet. Detroit, come on now. So you got this man, Big Sean. Come on, he was probably the last breed of Detroit. I don't know about this new generation of Detroit N-words, Detroit ninjas, but yeah, Big Sean was probably the last breed of real Detroit ninjas. He's gonna marry, put a ring on Janae's finger when the foundation of it was lust. How are you gonna put a ring on someone's finger when the foundation is lust? That's some crazy work, ladies and gentlemen. She was married to this dude named Dot Dot Genius. Got a whole tattoo of Big Sean while she was married. Now, if she was single, it's free game because there's no ring on her finger. But she was married to a whole dude before Big Sean. And Big Sean, after 10 years, knew in his conscience he can't take that serious because if it happened to him, it can happen to you. What makes Big Sean any different? Because he has bread. Shout out to Miss Lady. You put in your cash app in yo, somebody cash app Miss Lady. She put a whole cash app in the live. Yo, she out here begging, yo, put your cash app in my comment section. That's some crazy work, Miss Lady. I should block your ass for that, but it's all good. Ladies and gentlemen, we got people putting a ring on 304s deep down in their conscience. You know the foundation was crippled. You know the foundation was built off of sand. How you gonna build a house off of sand? She was married to Dot Dot Genius. You expect Big Sean to put a ring on that? And that's what's sad, ladies and gentlemen. Last night was Saturday. You got people at 2 a.m. lusting when the lights go on. They're supposed to leave and go to their homes, go to their place of residence, but they're so full of lust. They're looking for the next 304 to put a ring on. And we want Big Sean to really put a ring on Janae Aiko? Stop the cap. Now, a physical wise, she's a baddie. I'm not hating on her physical appearance, but it's not all about physical, it's about spiritual. And Big Sean knew the foundation was trash. It was built off lust. How is that going to last long term? So I'm supposed to bring somebody that was built off lust to the house of God, to the house of the Most High, bringing my personal mother, my friends, and my family in this church to be witnesses. We're all here together today, making promises for better or for worse. Meanwhile, the divorce rate in America is 1 out of 3. So 1 out of 3 people are getting divorce. What happened to for better or for worse? That you can't how we breaking promises, broken promises in front of the Most High, in front of the dog. The dog is even at the wedding. Little Chiquita Benita is at the wedding. So who's gonna take custody of Chiquita Benita? That's some crazy works. The Big Sean saw that from a long view. He saw that from a 10-mile radius, and he stopped a generational curse. He didn't want to be adding to that statistic, the statistic of adding to the divorce rate, because he knew deep down it was lust. If she can cheat previously, she gonna cheat again. Once a cheater, always a cheater. You know, I forgot, I think it was Maya Angelou. She said, when somebody says something, when somebody show you who they are, believe them. So Janae is coming through as a cheater. Believe she's a cheater. At the end of the day, Big Sean was just having fun. He was just spreading his world oats. Shout out to Coming to America. Queens, New York. He was just spreading his world oats to Janae. He was having fun. I mean, Janae, it's Sunday. I ain't gonna spread her business, but yeah, she's very experienced. So he was just having fun for 10 years. And sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, as men, as women as well, we bullshit. Sometimes for 10 years. But eventually you're gonna have to wake up. Big Sean woke up and he was like, enough is enough. I can't cap forever. You can have fun and the fun can feed your flesh, but to actually commit to that and let that be the identity of you, that is cap. You can't do that. And people out here really putting a ring on 304s. What? No so Dominicana, pero ya tú sabes. People putting rings on 304s, really taking these people right now. What, in the next week and a half, they're gonna take the 304 to Thanksgiving, talking about I'm gonna marry so and so. You gonna marry so and so? How do people have the courage to do that? All because of lust. So lust makes people so blind. They taking this 304 to Thanksgiving dinner table, talking about this is Susie. Susie, she was married before she met you, and while she was married, she cheated with you, and now you're trying to marry Susie? Stop the cap, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let's go to more content, ladies and gentlemen. Now that I got your attention, we are 20 minutes in. We are going to go to Sunday service. Now, I took some notes because these notes are very important. I want to now switch up the momentum, you know what I'm saying? We got the 18, really, you know what I'm saying? We got to switch it up. Wide term body, big ball, boss hog in the building. Pump it up, pump it up, pump it up, pump it up. Ladies and gentlemen, what you have to understand is that you can change your situation. It doesn't matter what is in front of you. All that is required is energy. You have to increase their frequency. If overtime presents itself, then you have to get overtime. If you're a content creator and it is not flowing for you, then you have to work overtime. 1 live is not enough. 2 lives is not enough. 3 lives, 4 lives, do what you gotta do, upload and go against the grain. See, in this channel and this platform, I was making videos and then I went back to sports, and then while sports, I was like, how am I gonna be talking about sports? Meanwhile, people are about to be homeless because they don't have money for rent. So what you have to understand is that there is 30 days in a month. And if you have resources such as a vehicle, even if you make $50 a day, if you out here delivering food, that is 3 bands a month in 30 days. And that's on a low day. Let's say you make $200 a day, and that's a good day. So it's about 150, 200. That is 6 bands in 1 month. Meanwhile, you have people struggling making content talking about government assistance, this, that, and the third. Stop the cap. You can change your situation. All that's required is energy. Pump it up, pump it up, pump it up, pump it up. All that required is energy, because all that you have is yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, who is in this bed? Back to Big Sean. Big Sean, once again, he partook himself in lust. But through the lust doesn't mean that you have to be stupid. So back to you. Because you made a mistake, does that mean that is the definition of you from that mistake? Now, do I call Janae a mistake? No. But 10 years is, I mean, you can't get those 10 years back. Imagine if Big Sean was on a tear. But let's keep it honest. His music has been slowing down. So I see the true way of being creative is focusing on you, because once you get in a relationship, you don't have time to create. You out here reproducing, you out here making love to your significant other. Imagine if Big Sean put all that energy into himself. What? As talented as Big Sean is, my goodness, finally famous with some crazy work. Let's go to the next point. A lot of individuals are in the 11th and 12th rounds of their life. 11th, 12th round. How you in the 11th, 12th round and you taking your foot off the gas? How you are in the 11th and 12th round and your back is up against a corner? I'm going to say get off that corner and get on your pivot and bob and weave, stick, stick, bob and weave, stick, stick, and fight back. You can't be in the 11th and 12th round pressing the snooze button. You can't be in the 11th and 12th round and you thinking it's sweet. No, all you have is yourself. I don't care if it's nobody watching this live. I don't care if it's 100 people watching this live. I don't care if it's 300 people watching this live. At the end of the day, you have to pump it up, pump it up, pump it up, pump it up. All you have is yourself. Ain't nobody gonna change your situation but you. I'm not about to play this video. Ain't nobody gonna change your situation but you. So Big Sean, if he was to commit to Janae and put a ring on that, and unfortunately they get a divorce, ain't nobody but to blame but him. In your personal life, if you don't have money for rent, if you over here committing to 304s, ain't nobody going to shit what you eat. Ain't nobody gonna pay your bills. Ain't nobody gonna fix your problems. People crying, oh my God, I get no views. Oh my God, I only get 10 views a video. I get 5 views a video. Oh my God, I quit. I'm gonna go back to my old ways. Life is hard. See, no, if it's hard, then it's good. Pause. Whoa. If it's hard, then it's good, ladies and gentlemen. If it's up, then it's stuck. Pause. Whoa. Change your situation. All you have to do to change your situation is pump it up, pump it up, pump it up, pump it up. That's all you have to do to change your situation. Increase the energy, increase the frequency. But they want you to be lethargic. They want you to be depressed. They want you to be complacent. They want you to be so lazy. Reject the spirit of sloth. We reject that nonsense energy. They want you to be so complacent. They want you to be pondering, thinking of the past, thinking of all this stressed out shit to keep you at a low vibrational state. We got to stop the cap. This is a time to be alive. No so dominicano better ya to sabe. What a time to be alive right now. It is Sunday and it's football Sunday. Sometimes you have to call an audible on the play. Audible, 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 audible. Yo, yo, yo. Omaha, Omaha. 319. 319. You sometimes you have to call an audible on the play because we come to the line football Sunday. They want you to be on the couch and they want you to waste the entire day watching the next man. Meanwhile, in your personal life, your bank account is in the negative. Your bank account is looking like Zorro. It's looking like a freaking Bloody Mary red ramen is bit, but you want to watch TV and you want to watch the next man while he's making millions on the screen. You have people watching the next man making millions, but meanwhile they can capitalize off their own life. They can capitalize and get it off the mud. And even if you don't have a 9 to 5, ladies and gentlemen, what we have to understand is that when there's a will, there's a way. So if you have a resource, there's all type of apps to make bread, such as Uber, DoorDash, Instacart, you name it, they got it. As long as you don't live in the woods, there is a way. So if you can make $50 a day in 30 days, that is 3 bands. Excuse me, if you can make $100 in 30 days, that is 3 bands. And that's a slow day. Some people are making $200 a day. That's 6 bands of extra income. If you add a gig work plus your 9 to 5, you're Gucci. But they want you to be depressed. They want you to be like, oh man, I'm broke. I can't do anything. I can't change my situation. They didn't want to watch TV, watch football Sunday, talking about 319, 319, audible, yo, audible your own life. Shout out to Nick Marsh. He said, hey, buddy, go back to bed. I can't go back to bed. I'm pumped up, pump it up, pump it up, pump it up. Shout out to Nick Marsh. Shout out to Arari. Shout out to every single one of y'all in the building. I can't go back to bed because there is time. There is room to work. I have to capitalize. I have to hit these streets because while people are watching TV, watching the next man score a touchdown, I'm going to bring them food and they're going to compensate me with the bread. I have to take advantage of the situation. I'm not going to look at the next person get bread. I'm going to capitalize. And what I'm trying to do is increase the frequency and really raise the volume because we have modern day men going outside out here. They dating 3 or 4s for 10 plus years, potentially trying to put a ring on it. Shout out to Big Sean. He didn't put a ring on it. The foundation was lust. The foundation was lust, and they want people to settle for 3 or 4s, knowing that the foundation was lust. That's some crazy work. Sometimes you gotta call an audible. Big Sean after 10 years. 319. I'm a 319. Check Taylor. Check Taylor. Watch Kelsey. Watch Kelsey. Watch Kelsey. Check Taylor. Check Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift. Watch Kelsey. Watch Kelsey. Sometimes you gotta call an audible on the play. You come to the line, you got to read the defense. You're about to blitz, mid-blitz, mid-blitz. You see that mid-blitz coming, you got to throw that slant. Because that mid-blitz is going to take you out. That 300-plus lineman running a 4-5 speed about to come for your neck. He's going to take you out. Hold on, you got to call it 319. 319. Check Taylor, check Taylor. Watch Kelsey. 319. Set. Yo, blitz, blitz. Kill, kill, kill. Check Taylor, check Taylor. 319. 319. You gotta call an audible on your line, baby. You gotta call an audible because we come to the line, you gotta read the defense. You have to pump up the volume. You have to adjust. You see the defense about to blitz your ass. Okay, now they want to play on drop coverage. Okay, you want to play on drop coverage? You want to date me for 10 plus years? You want to still put a ring on the finger? Knowing the damn well that the foundation of the relationship is lust. So how am I supposed to take the relationship serious if the foundation of the relationship, is lust? How am I gonna put a ring on that? And then unfortunately, if the relationship hits the fan, ain't nobody but to blame but myself because I knew deep down in my conscience that the relationship was built of lust. So how am I gonna be surprised when it crumbles? That's like building a house on sand. I can't be surprised that the house eventually collapsed because the foundation was built off sand. So Big Sean sees the relationship was built off lust. How's he gonna put a ring on that? You gotta call it audible 319. Yo, shout out to gaming guy in the building. No so Dominicana para ya tu sabe, ladies and gentlemen. If you are in the building, do me a favor and double tap the screen by hitting the live. Double tap the screen by hitting the live if you're done. I appreciate y'all. Happy Sunday, you know what I'm saying? We got these pastors coming through. Your HD Picks live in the building. We coming through and we're going to increase the frequency. We're going to increase the vibration. And when you come on this channel, you are going to gain positivity and you're going to leave inspired. You're going to leave better than how you left because they want you to be settling for these 3 or 4, these 30 bodies. They want you to settle. How are we going to settle making promises in front of the Most High? Going to church, going in front of the Most High, bringing our friends, our family, making a promise, talking about for better or for worse, knowing deep down in your conscience that the foundation was lust. So I'm really going to step in front of the Lord, Yahweh, whatever you want to call him, the guy that made us. Because believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, there is a Most High God, okay? I don't care what you believe in. There is the Most High God. So I'm going to go in front of the Most High God, whatever religion you believe in. I'm going to go in front of the Most High God, make promises just to marry somebody that's built up lust. And then we are surprised why the marriage doesn't last. How are we surprised? You built a house on sand. Big Sean said, nah, bro, stop the cap. 319, 319, I'm 319. Yo, they're blitzing. Check Taylor. Yo, watch Kelsey's. Watch Kelsey. What? Taylor Swift. Yo. You gotta call an audible on the line of scrimmage. You gotta call an audible on your life. Because you come into the line thinking it's sweet. Before you say hut, you already committed. Big Sean didn't want to say hut and commit to no Janae Aiko. He called an audible on a play. So what I take from this message, ladies and gentlemen, is that take heed of this message, what I'm about to say. You gotta call an audible. Sometimes you come into the line, you got all your linemen about to block you, got your receivers about to run their routes, or it could be a potential run play. You got to call an audible if you don't like what you see. If you don't like what you see by the defense, they're about to blitz your ass, they're about to come for your neck. If you got a play, you about to run a play, but you know that play is not going to be successful because the defense see what you're doing. You know you come into the line capping. You know you come into the line now with that bump to la bebida. No so dominicana para ya tu sabe. Galacoze, you saw. You come into the line capping thinking it's sweet. No, you got to adjust. You got to call 319. 319. You got to call an audible. We got to stop these generational curses because, see, Big Sean has the finances. So the kid is not going to wake up in an unfurnished apartment with 10 kids with only 1 bedroom to use, with no furniture, but a PlayStation 5 in a cardboard box with a TV on top of that, and the hot air is blowing on the baby's neck. The baby didn't actually be born in poverty because of the decision of lust. Now, that doesn't apply to Big Sean, but let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, last night at 2 a.m., people was parking lot pimping, and they acted on the spirit of lust. And unfortunately, now babies are going to be born off of lust. Now they're going to be born off of wedlock. Now they have to be born into poverty, all because of lust. So Big Sean, back to Big Sean, his foundation was built off lust. Because Janae, her previous relationship, she was married. While she was married, she got a whole tattoo of Big Sean on her body. That's some crazy work. So Big Sean, deep down in his conscience, if she's really to get down, if she's going like that, then she could do the same thing to Big Sean. How is he going to commit to that? We got to stop the cap. So people, oh my God, Big Sean he wasted, Big Sean wasted Janae's time. Oh my God. Oh my God, 10 years, she can never get back. That's so selfish of Big Sean. Stop the cap, bruh. He knew he was fooling around because he could have married her after year 1, after year 2, after year 3. 10 years come out now. That's on her too. 10 years? 7 years is pushing it. A whole decade. They made a whole album together. That album's never the second 28 or whatever that album they had collabed together. That's non-existent. Now we know why there wasn't a second album between Janae and Big Sean. Because she knew, I mean, people, that's what's crazy. And woman, my beautiful queens that's out there, let it breathe. My beautiful queens. What is down there should be sacred. Now, you can do whatever you want to do with your body, but don't be surprised when somebody that you're dating doesn't want to commit with your ass after 10 years. Because if he does his homework and he finds out the truth and you've been dry humping in the side of the bayou because your mom has 2, 3 jobs and she has to compensate, y'all know what y'all did. I can't control what you do. I mean, that's your body. You could do whatever you want to do. But you was dry humping in the bayou where your mama was trying to pay the bills, pay the mortgage. You was dry humping in the grass. I'm not trying to spread your business. That's your business. But don't be surprised if the man doesn't want to take you serious because of the past. They said the past doesn't matter. The past does matter because the relationship is a reflection, the partner is a reflection of you. So if you're a thotty body, that is a reflection of the partner, and he has to sleep next to that every single day. He has to every single day see you in the kitchen, see you every single day. Nobody wants to have that in their deep conscience, like, yeah, she's an amazing person. You could be a great person, great personality, know how to cook, amazing. But deep down in the conscience, before you met me, you was married and you cheated, Janae. You cheated. You cheated on your husband with Big Sean. So in Big Sean, deep conscience, how is he supposed to take Janae serious when the foundation was off of lust? We gotta stop the cap. So women out here, they having fun, but then now they eventually want to get married. They would just eventually want to settle down, but the foundation was trash. That's tough. Shout out to Soul for that, man. We got to give credit where credit is due. I'm not going to just take people's content, not give people's credit. But we got to stop the cap, ladies and gentlemen. I'm about to black out. I'm about to capitalize on my opportunity. I'm going to let my play with this. Take advantage of every single thing that presents itself to you because tomorrow is not promised. All that is promised is right now. That's why they call it the present. The past is the past. Today is the present. Tomorrow is not here. People are waiting for tomorrow. Tomorrow is not promised.